I had to even ask one of my friends if this kind of video was okay, because I wasn't sure how to approach this subject, but I think there's more to be said, and there's not that many people that can encourage female TCG players. That's why a video like this might be able to help someone out there in the world to go to their locals and have the best experience.
Hi guys, thank you for checking out this video. Make sure to also check out Gamers Rush, the store for all your TCG needs, and get 10% off your first order with Reggie support. Alright, let's head back to the video.
Hi Timers, it's Reggie, and I wanted to go through a little bit about going to locals as a female, and as you can see that I am very much the type that's not the common person to be at locals. I think it's gonna be a very chill video. Feel free to get a coffee, feel free to get a tea, whatever you drink, and your favorite snack, and just keep me on in the background. I think it'll be a good time. So, naturally, I was extremely afraid to go to locals. I was definitely the type of girl who was very much into her girlfriends, not really having guy friends as much. And I was always worried, like, how are the guys going to treat me? Because every girl's heard horror stories when you're in a male-based environment, and how they're going to treat you is a big deal. So I find that, like, when it came to locals, especially with meeting new people and having, like, mental health issues, like anxiety, depression, oh, we love it when brain goes burr. It's an interesting kind of idea, and it takes a lot for yourself to push, but I'm here to say that it's definitely worth the push. So, I'm just gonna tell you a little bit of a spiel of how it started with me. I had a good friend. He saw that I collected boosters of the Digimon TCG when it first started, and I just stopped. But then I showed more interest. He bought me a booster box of EX1, such a Chad. His name is RayGBT. He creates amazing YouTube content, so please do check him out if you haven't already. And he got me a lot of the starter decks, so I was like, yo, I've got to get into this game. Not only was Digimon just like a childhood anime that I loved and I grew up with, like most of us did, or I guess some of you did, because some people still don't know what Digimon is. It was just something that I always wanted to play, because I was aware that there was an older TCG that happened, but the fact that he gave me the older cards and this was renewed for me, I thought that, man, I have to try and start playing this game. I was just looking forward to playing with him, but he always encouraged me to be able to go to my locals and experience it for myself. Now, being a person who hasn't really been into TCGs and who has not understood a single TCG, this was a first for me. I didn't know any of the terms. I didn't know how to build a deck. I didn't know about all the cool little fancy sleeves that you get when you start Digimon. It's wonderful. I just thought they were all clear sleeves. But anyway, it was really surprising, and as a person that loves to learn new things, I'm a VTuber, so it's kind of coming with a personality. It was an amazing, incredible experience. I would not change it for the world. I understand what you guys are saying. You're saying, well, Reggie, I mean, you're coming in from an environment and you seem to have already gotten a really great startup from one of your friends. But I tell you that I was the one that had that first motivation. He was the one that just aided it. But I feel like there's people that don't have that. They don't have that friend that might be into TCGs to be able to help them out, or even to be able to go to locals with them. So when you don't have that experience, it's harder to dive in. But that's why I made this video. I want to be the person that tells you, try and go for it. Try and do it. Because after 2.5 months of going to my locals, I can see myself going for 2.5 years. Most of the reasons why I am gonna stick with my locals, first of all, is the community. I think you've probably heard a lot on YouTube already if you've been looking around videos and you so happen to go to my page. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Is that Digimon community, or most TCG communities, but speaking from a Digimon community standpoint, it is wonderful. I love the Digimon community. I've never met a community where I've just seen so well with, and yes, I'm an artist, I'm part of the art community, but even if, the Digimon community has just been so welcoming to me, and I don't feel that segregation as a girl. I don't feel like, oh, wait, I'm a girl, oh no, I'm playing card games with boys. Oh no, I've not felt that, and I haven't felt unsafe as well, because the environment is wonderful. The staff is there in case something ever happens, and you know that you can just feel okay and reassured that everything will be alright if you just keep going there and having fun. However, there are a few things that I wish I could have done differently before going into my locals. So basically the story was I had a bunch of the cards that my friend got me. I piled them up, tried to make a deck, mostly a starter deck. I did it in the morning, I unsleeved stuff, I sleeved stuff, I thought it didn't matter, and I went to my locals. But I don't know anything about TCGs, and there are a lot of terms that I wasn't familiar with. I didn't know what a mulligan was, I didn't know what Swiss rounds were, and I'm sure there are some ladies that have gone to locals before and they know what this is, but me being that lady, that wasn't me as a lady, that's the whole point. And I feel like it's good that if I research the terms or trying to Google it, so Googling some terms of what you're going to meet at your locals. This isn't really the video for that, but I'm happy to make one if you guys are very interested. I'll make sure to timestamp this. Or just getting help building a deck. Like, I was new to the game, new to TCGs, new to everything, new to the environment, new to, like, how it is to play with people physically. I am a gamer, but a lot of stuff has been pushed online ever since what's been happening with the world. And also having a very introverted personality, you kind of have to meet people and socializing. Socializing kind of cringe, I know. I wish I could have seen what it was like to build a deck. I wish I could have seen more YouTube tutorials about it if I was too shy to ask anybody. But I literally just whipped up all my favorite cards. Now, what I mean, you have to research at first. My first deck that I built was a Mastermon deck. And if anyone knows about the Digimon TCG, Mastermon is probably one of the hardest decks to learn at the meta at the moment, and we've just got a lot of OTK decks. I'm sorry about this tangent, but that's the pain that I had to go through. I didn't know how expensive it was, I didn't know what cards I needed. When people would open the binder and they'd be ready to trade stuff with me, they were like, what do you need? And I'm like, I don't know. So I feel like going with it with a friend or just knowing stuff about it really helps just to cool that anxiety and give you that confidence to enter that environment. Okay, speaking of friends, go with someone. Like, try and see if you can get a friend to go with you. Now, I'm not saying necessarily someone who is very affiliated with the Digimon TCG. I was lucky that I have people like that in my life. However, I would say even just like a family friend or like a family member, one of the two that you can kind of drag along to just help to make sure that everything's okay. I've seen people go there with their moms, with their grandmothers, with their aunts, with their uncles. It's a very safe way to go about it, especially if you don't know anyone. You can always tell them like, hey, I'm pretty okay now, I'm having fun with the game, so you can leave. I've even seen people that have been gone from the game for like 6 or 7 months or the locals, and they would come back with a partner or a friend to be able to help support them, because I mean, things change and people might get anxious about that stuff, and that's okay. That's a human response. If you were anything like me and didn't really have anyone to go with, what I did was that I had a little bit of a strategy in plan because I'm aware of my mental health and just aware of myself personality wise. I went to the stores just like a few times to get a booster pack. Every now and then, any booster that I wanted, just so that I could get familiar with the store itself. And I would know the stuff eventually, so they would be able to tell me about any Digimon events that are coming up or when the locals are going to be happening. And I felt that that helped me a lot in just being to be able to familiarize myself. I think it was kind of scary if, like, you've never been into the local store and then one day you just barge in, you don't know who you're talking to, you don't know what's happening. But I'm sure the stuff is probably nice, but that's a bit of an intense thing to do. So I would say get in it step by step. Just dip your toes a bit into the cold water and then eventually your body will get used to it. That's also another big thing to be able to segue into, is that the idea of tournaments. If you're going to your locals for the first few times, and let's say the first time you went is a store championship, I would recommend maybe to go to the next week when everything's more casual. I would find in a store championship, people probably already know each other's plays, people already know each other, so to meet a ton of people and a lot of new faces can be a bit intimidating. I don't know if that's just me, but there are some people that are more confident, so you can go for it and everything, but I find that if you're still learning the game, if you're still learning about your locals, it's better to go in a more casual setting. That way, you know, you won't feel as afraid in the next time that you're trying to go, instead of going to your locals in the store tournament, getting your butt handed to you, and being afraid to go the next week. I'm not speaking from experience or anything. If you're too afraid to go to stores, if you have something that can't enable you to go outside, there are Discords filled with Digimon players that you can try to interact with online. I feel like that's the best bet, because a lot of regionals are also online now, because not many people could be able to fly out, and there was not many people, or places I should say, in the world that was open. So I feel like that's another route that you could take if going outside into a locals can be intimidating and can help build you up. Again, dip your toes in the water. And okay, this is kind of, I guess, a weird tip. Probably one of the only main tips in this video, but don't be afraid to be a girl. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Reggie, yes, I'm watching this in girl, or someone who's interested in girls, and I kind of understand, like, of course it wouldn't be a thing, like, you know, don't be afraid to be a girl. But you would be surprised about how much your personality can change when you're in an unfamiliar environment. When I was first going in with boys, I was thinking like, oh man, okay, what's that bro language again? Mansplaining? I need to learn how to do that. And I was trying to teach myself these things, which I think is ridiculous. Hey, anxiety and fear can make you do a lot of different things. And I kind of feel like it is better just to go for it and be yourself. Yes, of course, I'm going to be trying to look for pink biters, even though I know there's only going to be, like, blue or black or red, because apparently that's the only colors that they might have. And yes, I'm going to be getting the pink sleeves, and yes, I'm going to be aiming for the cute characters, because I like cute characters. And if you're not the type of girl, that's totally fine as well. You know, purple's a cool color too. You know. Greymon is a really cool Digimon too. You don't have to be a tomboy. You'd have to be considered a tomboy, especially when you're just playing card games. I find that kind of weird. I was like one of those kids that like would play for Hot Wheels and be called a tomboy just because I prefer Hot Wheels over Barbies. I think that's weird. You know, people are weird. But I feel like don't let that stop you. If you're getting that intimidation, just move. Just do whatever you want and be the girl that you want to be. That's totally fine. Okay, this is corny, and I know you guys are probably saying she's gonna see something corny at the end of the video, and you're right. I'm gonna do it because, you know, that's how it is. Have fun. If you're not having fun, there's no point in really playing a game at the moment. Like, yeah, you can be a pro league player, you can esports players, so sometimes there are some quells and lows, but even they have a lot of fun with the game. That, yes, okay, let's say if you're a little more acquainted with TCGs, you've been to locals before, but it's been a long time since then, and you think you're going with the game, it's a new format, but you're gonna blitz everyone and destroy everyone and win and conquer. No. Just know, have fun. That's the most important thing. We don't know what kind of player we're gonna be until we step into the ring, and that ring is filled with friendship, happiness, and learning. I think it's very important just to try and have fun, not to be overly competitive about it, not to be too disappointed about what happens. Okay, I'm a Mastermon player, I've been losing every week, I come lost every week, but that never stops me from going to my locals because I just adore the experience. I have so much fun. I have fun talking to the guys. I have fun talking about my favorite Digimon because I have Digimon brain rot at the moment and I need somebody to talk to about this. Feel free to talk to me. You can comment on the video if you want. But I kind of find that it's just such a fun experience. And yeah, there'll be times when I might win a round or two and I'm like, hey, I'm actually learning and stuff like that. And learning is fun for me, but it shouldn't be a thing that makes you kind of stop wanting to go to locals just because you're into the competitive scene. Just go to have fun. That's the most important part. And see which days there probably have more of the sweaty players and then have the meme days, because I know that's how some locals do work and you can go for that instead. But have fun and don't let anybody else stop you from having fun. I've talked a lot in this video about the many reasons why you should try and go to your locals and some tips, but
I think the most important thing is just to be able to know that you're in there for the experience. Experience has probably been the word of the day for this video. And that nothing should stop you. There is a lot of women in history that they never let anything stop them when everyone's like, you're a woman, you should be stopped. So just go for it. Just have fun. No matter what color you are. Just do what you need to do to be able to embrace the game. I hope you've been liking this video, and please comment below if you kind of like this type of podcasting videos, because I want to be able to do more of this. And guys, it's been a pleasure to be able to chill with you today. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hopefully I'll see you sometime soon.